the untold story of T.O.P's controversial comeback in Squid Game Season 2. T.O.P, Choi Sung-hin, who plays Thanos in the series, was the target of an uprising of negative examples in Korean media immediately after the premiere of Squid Game Season 2. Many fans think the data supports their opinion that this was part of a systematic attempt to damage his reputation. Since 2019, there has not been much news about the former Big Bang member, because he decided to distance himself from the spotlight. Here is a quick summary for those who are not familiar with the circumstances that led to his absence. As a conscripted police officer, T.O.P started his mandatory military service in 2017 and is expected to be discharged in 2018. However, word leaked out in May of that year that he would face drug-related charges. The retaliation was swift and severe. On Korean online sites, T.O.P received an offensive of hateful remarks, some of which received thousands of likes. The hatred was so severe that supporters began to worry about his health. A picture of him smiling while wearing a police uniform became the subject of criticism, since many people saw it as a sign of lack of interest. Fans, however, interpreted it as the smile of someone who was going through a really difficult time and might even be about to give up. Unfortunately, their suspicions were validated when T overdosed on anti-anxiety medicine and was discovered comatose in his police station. After being hurried to the hospital, it was discovered that he had taken more sedatives than was recommended, despite being a frequent user. Fortunately, he became conscious again. T.O.P entered a guilty plea to 4 counts of marijuana use in June 2017 and was given a 2-year probationary sentence. Additionally, the trial disclosed that he had participated in illicit actions with actress Han So-hee, who was his then-girlfriend. He was moved to public service after a disciplinary investigation, and in July 2019, he was finally released. In a 2022 interview with Prestige Online, T.O.P addressed the scandal's impact on his mental health. He disclosed that he had battled depression since he was a young child and called the 2017 incident the darkest period of his life. In Korea, where self-harm rates are still high, he particularly emphasized the stigma associated with mental health. T.O.P made his big-screen comeback in 2023 in Squid Game Season 2 as player 230, a retired rapper who falls victim to a cryptocurrency scam. His character's substance misuse and impulsive behavior, which were similar to his actual incident, stoked criticism. Following the release of images showing the group preparing for filming, Korean internet users vented their ire, with some even threatening to boycott the show. Calls for a boycott and harsh condemnation of his casting surfaced as the controversy increased. In response, director Hwang Dong-hyuk praised T.O.P's boldness and role fit while defending him. However, when the series premiered on December 26, 2023, opinions on T.O.P's performance were divided. Unbearable was how some Korean media sources described his performance, and speculation of a concerted attempt to discredit T.O.P was heightened when fans saw that he was left out of promotional materials and interview schedules. International fans, on the other hand, defended him, applauding his performance and pointed out how hypocritical it was to single him out while disregarding other cast members who were involved in more significant scandals. Casting T.O.P was a tough choice, but director Hwang later clarified that he thought the actor was a good fit for the part. He said, "I felt enough time had passed for people to accept him," expressing astonishment at the negative reaction. In the end, Hwang stressed that the people had to determine if T.O.P could gain forgiveness for his actions. For now, the controversy surrounding his casting in Squid Game Season 2 underscores the difficulties of addressing mental health in a society where stigma still exists, as well as the complexities of redemption and public perception. It remains to be seen if T.O.P can overcome the hate and rebuild his career.